How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Master Beer Reviews, back to yet another review. A little bit of Russian Imperial Stout. Jersey-born. Say what? Russian Imperial Stout time with coffee, mind you. And a whole bunch of other stuff, actually, in the form of Icarus Brewing's Kalashnikoffee. Yeah, Icarus. I was just down there. I did a podcast interview with Jason, owner and head brewer of Icarus. So I'll probably try to post this right around the time I put up that interview with him on the podcasting end of things. But yeah, Russian Imperial Stouts with coffee. Call my name. They had 4 packs of these. I had to come home with some. Here we go. Let's see. Kalashnikoffee. So Kalashnikov is their Russian Imperial Stout. I had that last time I was at Icarus. First time and last. I was going to say first and last time. The last time I was there, which was the first time I was there, will not be the last time I go there. It was pretty damn good. So I go down there. This time they actually have the coffee version in cans. Russian Imperial Stout, 14.5% alcohol by volume. Not fucking around. And it's a Russian Imperial Stout brewed with clover honey. Okay. Brown sugar. And toasted southern pecan, or pecan. If you say pecan, you're kind of a douche. Pecan coffee. Lakewood, New Jersey. I know quite well. My dad worked there for a billion years. And this was canned on 11/20. Today is the 29th. So, yeah, it's only 9 days old in the can. And it says, my dad better than your dad. Vitor Drago. Yeah. Label-wise, it's pretty damn cool. I like Icarus's cans. They're pretty good stuff as far as art goes and stuff like that. And, you know, Jason was a pretty cool dude. So, kind of excited to dive into this sucker. I love me Russian Imperial Stouts. Throwing all that other stuff in there piques my interest. So yeah, let's give this 15. Let's call it even 15 for funskis. Percent Russian Imperial Stout a whirl. What do we have there? We have a nice, dense, thick, rich, all those kind of adjective-y words. Russian Imperial Stout. I mean, pinky finger, malted malt ball color might be slightly elevated above that. Pretty uniform, tightly compact bubble stains. A couple little stragglers floating around, and she'd be dark. So she looks the part of a Russian Imperial Stout. Let's get the nose. Cool. Okay. Now, see, if you watch my Russian Imperial Stout reviews, I'm quite... What's the word I'm looking for? Hard? Or very strict? Very... What's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of it. Very headstrong when it comes to my opinions of Russian Imperial Stouts. They all have bitterness on them. That's the case, but some tend to skew a bit too bittering for me. This one has a really hefty bittering on it, but that 14.5% beats it down. So you get this nice kind of bittering from that roasted malt. A little bit of bittering, I believe, from the actual coffee itself. A little bit of bittering even from the hops. But since the beer is so big, since there's honey in there, since there's brown sugar in there, it just kind of tempers it. It just kind of makes sense. So it's right up my alley so far. And here's the weird part about it. You get the coffee for days. It's absolutely fantastic. I really don't get the honey. And I want to say I really don't get the brown sugar because I think there's a marriage between that honey and brown sugar that ends up coming off very molasses-like to me. It almost smells like there's like a rich, sweetened molasses in there as opposed to honey and brown sugar, which is awesome. Because when you talk about brown sugar in a beer, it can come off very kind of generic, kind of like an Americanized version of kind of a Belgian beer where it's not like a candied sugar, it's just brown sugar. This has depth and layers to it, and I think it's a combination of the way that honey's working with that brown sugar. It smells fucking fantastic. It smells like a rich, very rich, I wouldn't say overly dark roast. It's a dark roasted coffee, but maybe that pecan version of it. I mean, it may be pecan, whatever. I don't even know which way is the right way anymore. It might be like a kind of jacked up kind of, I don't want to say confectionery version of coffee, but it smells that way. I don't know if that extra sweetness is kind of lending that to me, but it smells like the coffee is almost like, you know, a Dunkin' swirled coffee kind of thing. You know, like that kind of coffee as opposed to just coffee flavored coffee. Yeah, this rich, huge, big coffee, nice big roasted malts, a bit of bittering, a ton of bittering over here, a bunch of sweetness over there. It smells awesome. I'm gonna dive in. Cheers. Ooh, man, that's an aggressive beer. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. It's 14.5%. I love how it was like, let's just call it an even 15. I haven't even referenced that. It's 14.5%. But there's a lot of 14.5% beers that are aggressive in a negative way or just don't show up. This one shows up in a really positive way. The coffee is big and bold and toasty and roasty, and it has an extra component to it. You know, nuts or pecans or whatever you want to call it, be damned or be propped up or whatever. I don't know if that's adding that extra component to the coffee, but there's something extra level to it outside of that sweetness from all the other bits and pieces. It's just rich and robust, and there's a nice bittering to it. Like I said, from the roasted malt to the coffee, the hops, there's enough bitterness to bounce off that sweetness that follows with that brown sugar and that honey, which comes off again in the taste like a big, huge bomb of molasses in a very awesome way. If you told me this is a molasses coffee Russian Imperial Stout, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. But it's not. But it is. So you get this big initial jolt of sweetness very initially at the beginning, and once you actually go to swallow, all that bitterness comes through. You get that rich, kind of nice biting bitterness from all three components, from, like I said, from the hops, from the malt, and from the coffee. You need it because there's also all around it this really sticky, palate smacking, like richness from that kind of pseudo molasses. You're getting that coffee. You're getting a little bit of that nuttiness from the coffee. You're getting that almost like flabby fattiness I tend to get from honey. So it adds this extra dimension, extra mouthfeel to it. The mouthfeel's fucking killer, by the way. You get that molasses sweetness throughout. And the coffee rides, and none of it really quits at the end. It just kind of lingers. Like last time I took a sip was at least 30 seconds ago, and I'm still have this roasty, biting coffee kind of floating in there. And it's not a negative biting. It's a very aggressive coffee, like almost like you're eating the bean itself, floating in the back, but there's still the molasses sticking there. And the best part of it is it still tastes like a beer the whole time. Some of these can get so out in left field that it's like, okay, there's so many things going on that there's really not much beer left. This is a beer. This tastes like a beer. It drinks like a beer. It just happens to have a whole bunch of shit going on outside of it. Yeah, nice. Awesome. I could see somebody totally going apeshit and throwing lactose in this. I actually commend Icarus on all fronts to not throwing lactose in it. I think it would have fucked this beer up. Something fucking crazy. I like the play on bitterness outside of that sweetness. I like the use of the brown sugar and the honey as opposed to the lactose. It just makes so much fucking sense. This is a super tasty beer, but it's bitter. It's bitter, and I usually knock my Russian Imperial Stouts for being bitter, but the way they play that high ABV with all those other bits and pieces, it makes so much sense. This is how you do a bitter Russian Imperial Stout. A really overt, Americanized version bitter Russian Imperial Stout. This is like almost like someone's had this and has drank this Struce Black Albert before and made their own Americanized coffee version of it. This is delicious. It's tasty. 14.5 in a 12-ounce can. Thank you very much. I love that shit. 12 ounces, perfect amount of beer. This is almost perfect to split between two people, but I'm going to drink it all myself. Done and done. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better Russian Imperial Stouts I've had as of late. Yeah, adjunct or otherwise. You know, I would still put some of the ones that are really near and dear to my heart above this, but as far as a newbie throwing down a Russian Imperial Stout, this is pretty damn fucking fantastic stuff. Value and availability, I forget what it cost when I bought it. I want to say brewery only, but I know there's stuff at shelves, so you know, you might find it out and about and leave you with, if you like what, will you like this? If you like Russian Imperial Stouts, if you like maple syrup, even though I said maple syrup, if you like molasses, or you like even maple syrup would work, actually. It kind of fringes on that. And you just like big, bold, roasty stouts, this is going to do you proper, because this thing is big, it's bold, it's fantastic. Has a whole bunch of shit going on, but it's still a beer. It's fucking tasty. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive, if you want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing, when I'll be talking with Jason about all things Icarus. It was sucked too because my recorder screwed up. I forgot to hit record for like the first 20 minutes, so I had to restart it over. Anyway, I reference it in the actual podcast. Go check it out. I'll try to post these. I will post this and the other one same day, so it'll be up at 4 o'clock whatever day I post this. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice Icarus beer right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.